Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thank you for tuning into this video. Gold and silver are still down. Silver's in the $17.40 range. And right now, times are a little tricky because it's highly volatile. Several different things are influencing silver's price very drastically, and it's much more speculative than it usually is. So going off of this, noting that, I think that right now is a really good opportunity to buy, but I want to dive a little deeper into this subject because there's also specific types of coins you could be buying to protect yourself or at least play the smarter card to say the least. So before we start, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe if you're new. I post daily videos. I also posted 2 other videos today, so go check those out as well. I'm talking a little bit more about silver's price recently and what's been affecting it so much. But anyways, let's jump into this. So right now, we definitely have an opportunity to be buying our precious metals for a lot cheaper than usual. Right now, as prices are down, most people are worried in a more panic state, saying, oh, silver's down, it's going to keep dropping. And they're probably selling their silver out of fear that it's going to go lower, even though they were the ones purchasing it around $19.50. You don't want to be one of those people. Right now, since silver is down $2 since it just was a couple weeks ago, it's an opportunity to take advantage of lower prices, buying more silver for cheaper, lowering your dollar per cost average, especially if you were one of those people that bought at $19.50. Because ironically, most people buy silver and get into the markets when prices are highest. And that's because they're in the spotlight. There's the most news talking about it. Everyone's talking about it. You want to hop on board. You usually don't have as much because you're newer into the market and you want to catch up. But when you're doing that, you're paying the highest prices. So if you're still in the silver market, whether you came over from stock market volatility or just wanted a safe haven investment, an asset to start investing into, then right now is the perfect opportunity to be buying some silver for cheaper. Now, you want to be careful because prices could drop more. So you could, it would be silly to be buying 100 ounces of silver right now and then next week silver's down to $16.50 when you could have, bought it a dollar cheaper by being patient enough to wait a week. So how do you set yourself, in a safety net, in this accurate space where you can still purchase it, take advantage of the prices, but also take advantage of how low it goes? Well, this is what we're going to be discussing in the first half of this video. Now, you want to be buying in increments, keeping a pulse on the market over time, but also reflecting on what's happening in the economy, because that will also give you very good indicators on where the prices are headed. So when silver was $19.50, I knew there was going to be a correction happening. Also, US and China were resolving some of their trading stuff, so I figured that, this was going to drive people back to other investments in other places. So when I was talking about that correction happening, I was mentioning that it would just be an opportunity to buy your silver for cheaper. But a lot of people ran out the door from that and didn't even get back into the market. Well, right now, if you are going to be purchasing, you can buy little bits at a time without having to go all in. In any investment, whether it's real estate, whether it's stocks, cryptocurrency, you never want to just go all in. Like, let's say I wanted to buy 100 ounces of silver right now, or let's say over the next couple months, I wanted to buy 100 ounces of silver. I would never just buy 100 ounces at one set price, because what that means is I've just capitalized, or I've just thrown in the towel and said that this is exactly what my what my dollar per ounce is. But what if silver drops to $16.50? I could have just got a lot more silver for a lot cheaper. So what you can do is maybe buy 20 or 30 ounces right now, and then be patient enough to wait a couple days, see what's happening in the economy, see what's happening in the markets, and maybe if it looks like it's going to keep dropping, hold off a couple days, and then if it drops down to $16.80, then buy another 30 ounces, or maybe buy 40 ounces. And then if it looks like, things are going to be picking up in the economy, and, US-China trade wars are negotiating and stock markets are appreciating, then maybe hold off a little bit, because that means prices are going to be rising. Or maybe that means go in the rest and just, take advantage of that one last push while silver prices are down. And this is the smartest way to do this: setting a safety net, having a strategy, also reflecting upon what's happening, because all of it is intertwined. Also, there's going to be 1 to 3 more rate cuts from the Federal Reserve this week, which are highly going to be influencing prices. So maybe you just say, okay, I'm going to buy 20 ounces right now, and hold off for the rest of the week. See what happens, with the rate cuts happening and how that affects prices. And if it looks like things are going to keep going good for silver and gold, then I will, purchase one last time. But if it looks like things are going to go downhill, I'm going to keep holding off and see how low the prices go so I can buy it at the lowest possible. Now it's tricky because we don't have a crystal ball to see in the future and just say, we don't have someone to tell us, hey, next month silver is going to be $18, so you better buy it all right now. We don't have anyone saying that. So you have to use your educated guesses and use other indicators to the best of your ability. Now, I was actually talking to someone in an email. I'll keep their name anonymous, but we were talking a couple hours ago, and he was mentioning how he wants to buy, several thousand ounces of silver, and he wants to build a foundation. But, what's the best type of silver to buy right now as prices are so in such a weird state? And it was a good question because should you be buying your bullion right now, or should you be buying some of your higher premium silver? Well, I guess it really does depend because when silver was $19.50 an ounce a couple weeks ago, I was telling you that I'd be taking advantage of certain coins, maybe some pandas, stuff like that. But when prices are down, then you could be taking advantage of other types of silver. Now, I definitely think when silver's low, you want to be taking advantage of your bullion because when silver's high, your pandas and all those coins, regardless, are going to be appreciating on top of spot price. So you need to know, and also we were talking a little bit about balancing your stack out, and you need to understand which part of your stacking journey you're at. Are you still trying to build your foundation? Are you still one of those people trying to get your first couple hundred of ounces? Or are you one of those people that already have a nice foundation and you have, the comfort, you have that safety net to be able to branch off and diversify into other coins? Because that's highly going to be reflecting upon, what's the best type of silver to purchase right now. Because what works for me right now might not work for you. Maybe you have more silver than I do. Maybe I have more silver than you do. Maybe you have a different selling time frame than I do. It all is really it's really up to you, and it's really corresponding to your individual stacking journey. So make a portfolio, reflect upon your goals, whether it's buying time frames, selling time frames, your financial income. Some people might have a different financial income or different financial situation than others, which would also be highly reflecting upon whether they are buying certain coins right now or holding off. So I don't want to make a very, overall or generic response, but it really is individualistic to the stacker themselves. And that's why I always try to throw out these videos, throw different perspectives out, throw different types of options you have and different choices you have, because, I can't tell you how to stack because what works for me might not work for you. So you need to figure out what works best for you. And that also reflects on educating yourself, breaking down these videos, talking with other people, and really just researching. I definitely think that all of you guys have, a good strategy. Almost 99% of the time when I talk to you guys seem like you know exactly what you're doing. You have a good head on your shoulders. Sometimes you just need a little other outside input to kind of, get the ball rolling. And I definitely appreciate that. And I do the same thing as well. Sometimes if I have a question, I'll throw it out in the video and say, what should I do? Or I'll make a poll video and see, what the majority of people are thinking, and also their responses in the comments below, also naming or telling why they chose that answer. It also brings a more open-minded opinion and allows us to see from different perspectives that maybe we never thought of before. And that really is the gist of silver stacking, being as open-minded and as patient as possible. If you're open-minded and if you're allowing yourself to see the bigger picture and take that emotional attachment out, you can think more rational and you can make more relevant decisions, because it really is easy to get distracted in such a volatile market with such emotional attachment and such high stakes. So I definitely think that that's the best strategy. But I'm curious what you guys think about this. Where do you guys think prices are headed right now? Do you think prices are going to keep dropping, or do you think it's really going to be up to the unknown factors, or do you think rate cuts are going to play a huge factor in it? Do you think the U.S.-China trade wars are going to be a huge factor? Do you think stock market volatility or profiting stocks is going to be a huge factor, or do you think they're all intertwined? I definitely think to some degree they're all intertwined and they all do bounce off of each other and affect the markets to some degree. But what do you think is the biggest influencers? I definitely think rate cuts is one of the biggest influencers, because that is what media covers. That's what really does push people or motivate people, sway people to be investing in their money in certain spots. So I definitely think that's one of the biggest ones as well. But I'm curious, where you guys are thinking silver prices are headed and why. I would love to hear your input and your insight, because this channel channel. It's supposed to be a platform for all of us to discuss and throw our observations out and our opinions. But anyways, I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new. You guys know I post daily videos, so check out the other 2 videos I posted today. You should see 2 links right on the left hand of the screen popping up where you can click on one of my earlier videos that I posted today. But you know, I do appreciate you guys for tuning in. We just reached 21,000 subscribers. I cannot thank you guys enough for all the amazing support. I'm going to keep pumping out videos, making content, updating you guys in the world of precious metals as long as you guys keep supporting me. So thank you for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I will see you guys soon. Peace.